Welcome back to Game Crunch, everyone, keeping you up to date with the latest in the video game world. Now today, we're going to go over a couple of the biggest topics happening today in the gaming space, including, have you been enjoying the Nintendo Switch Online service where you can play NES and Super Nintendo and 64 games? Well, for the first time, we're actually seeing the removal of a game, and we're going to go over what game that is and what this could mean going forward, especially maybe with the Switch 2. More on that in just a second, and then hopefully some of you guys out there have been enjoying the Monster Hunter Wilds release over the weekend. I've tried to get into Monster Hunter in the past, as I mentioned, but it's just not for me. Maybe this will be the one that'll get me. Maybe I'll check it out eventually. But anyway, there is a game-breaking bug, and Capcom's working on it. We'll get into the details on that in just a second. But of course, if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest in the video game world, consider giving Game Crunch a subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and if you find any of this information helpful, give the channel a like, and without further ado, let's just get right into today's topics. Now, since its launch in 2018, the Nintendo Switch Online has given us a pretty extended library of everything from the NES and Super Nintendo, N64, and even Sega Genesis. But now, for the first time, we're actually seeing a game leave the service. Over 300 games have made their way onto the service, giving subscribers access to a growing retro collection. But this week, Nintendo confirms something we had not seen before: the removal of a game. The game is Super Formation Soccer, or better known in the West as Super Soccer, and it's being delisted from Switch Online's SNES library for March 28th. This marks the first time a game has been removed from the service in US and Europe, and it's raising concerns that the library might not be as permanent as some players had hoped. On top of that, the move has sparked some criticism, including from an industry veteran, Hideki Kamiya. Now, he's the former co-founder of Platinum Games, and he now has his own studio called Clover Studio. Well, Kamiya took to X, which is formerly Twitter, to voice his frustration over the weekend, calling for the return of Nintendo's Virtual Console, which is a service that allowed the purchase of permanently owned classic games on previous platforms like the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS. While first-party Nintendo games will likely remain safe, this decision opens a door for potential removals of the third-party titles in the future. This does come as a reminder that subscription services, even those offering retro classics, come with the risk of losing access to the games over time. Now, I've really enjoyed the Nintendo Switch Online service, and I even checked out a few games for the first time that I wouldn't have checked out before. Like, I played through Demon's Crest, I played through Earthbound, actually, for the first time, and I gotta say, if you haven't played through Earthbound, definitely check out Earthbound. It still holds up. It was a fantastic game. But anyway, you gotta know that in this digital future, this thing is gonna happen. I think we're gonna see it less with the Nintendo first party, and more than likely with the third party, as there is going to be licenses and whatnot involved. Now, one question is, we don't know still how this is going to carry over to the Nintendo Switch 2. Are we still going to have access to all these games when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out? I don't know. I guess we'll find out in about a month now? Meanwhile, Capcom has been addressing a pretty major issue that's hit Monster Hunter Wilds over the weekend that has stopped some players from progressing in the story at all. Capcom has confirmed they will be dropping a critical update on this Tuesday, tomorrow. Some players encountered a game-breaking bug where an essential NPC failed to appear, effectively halting progress in the game's main story. Capcom confirmed that the patch will go live across platforms at 12 a.m. Pacific Time, that's 3 a.m. Eastern, or 8 a.m. GMT, and that is on to March 4th, which is tomorrow. This update will fix multiple issues, not just the game-breaking bug, and that includes problems that have been happening with the Ingredients Center, Gorilla Meal feature, and the progression blocker that happens in Chapter 5-2, titled A World Turned Upside Down. If you're getting close, maybe work on some side quests today until the patch drops. Any active online sessions will be discontinued once the patch is live, and players will need to download the update before they can continue playing online. Now, despite this hiccup, Monster Hunter Wilds is performing exceptionally well. The game has received glowing reviews, boasting a 90 on Metacritic for consoles and an 88 on PC. It also shattered records on Steam, peaking over 1.38 million concurrent players. That makes Monster Hunter Wilds the 5th highest player count in Steam history, even surpassing massive titles like Elden Ring and Cyberpunk 2077. On top of that, Capcom is shaking up its leadership, with longtime Monster Hunter producer Ryozo Tsujimoto. He's set to oversee all of Capcom's development divisions starting in April. Given the franchise's continued success, it looks like Monster Hunter is in good hands for the foreseeable future. And that's some good news that they are releasing this patch, so unfortunately if you have had that problem, it sounds like it doesn't seem to affect everybody, but if you have had that problem, just hold tight. They will be dropping a patch, as I said. Just do some side quests or something for the meantime. Now, Monster Hunter, as I said earlier in the video, I've tried to play Monster Hunter 3, I've tried to play World, I've tried to play, what was it, the one on the Switch. I tried to play that one. I can't get into it. Like, is this going to be the 4th try if I try this game? Now, I did hear that there seems to be quite a bit of discourse online that this Monster Hunter in particular seems to be very easy, and it seems to be like maybe they're trying to get a wider audience to enjoy Monster Hunter. Now, particularly when I tried Monster Hunter, and you know, I put probably a few hours into each one, I didn't particularly find it difficult, but again, I'm at the beginning of the game. I don't know if it gets really difficult later. I don't know. What do you think of this Monster Hunter so far? Should I give it attempt number 4? And that's all the news I've got for you today, so of course, let me know what your thoughts are down below. What do you think? Do we think you're going to lose even more Nintendo Switch Online games as we go? I mean, of course we are. I'm pretty much thinking it's just going to be the third party. I really hope this whole service kind of transfers over to the Switch 2 without, you know, any interruption. I hope it just, you know, seamlessly comes over. And then, of course, let me know what you've been thinking of Monster Hunter Wilds so far, and if you've ran into this game-breaking bug. And I want to thank you for tuning in to another day of Game Crunch, and if you missed the last news video, I'm going to put one over here, and another video you might like over here, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.